and they have to, if there's no one to light with them, they're not married, then they have to light by themselves. Now, there's even another halacha that goes as far as to say that if, let's say, our husband is at work, that the woman can light for him, and for the whole household. This is more for Sfaradim. We hold like that there's only one candle light by house, so meaning that she can light because she's equally obligated in the mitzvah. Okay, and then also the if a person now he lit already the Chanukah, he can go back home and light with the brachot for his wife, and it's good that the wife should be standing next to him. And the reason why the husband can cover his wife, well, actually the first party he covers the whole household, and the Ashkenaz have a custom that each person lights for themselves, right? So you light, your kids light, and then for your wife she doesn't have to light. Why? Because we say that ishto kigufo, a wife is considered like her husband. So if you do the mitzvah, then it's as if she did the mitzvah, and therefore she will be exempt. Now, for the children under the bar mitzvah, of course, but they cannot light for anybody.
They can light for themselves.
Yes, they can light for themselves, and that's actually the minhag for Ashkenazim, that they can light even with a bracha for chinuch, right? When they're under the bar mitzvah. But for Sfaradim, when they get over bar mitzvah, they don't light with a bracha anymore. So let's say in my house with my father, the halacha would be that he lights for everybody, but this halacha only applies if the person is dependent on the father, meaning that he eats at his table, or that his father is taking care of his needs. So, but if let's say he's married or he doesn't live there, then he's not able to do to be covered by his father. Okay, and it's also proper that there's one person that lights all the candles. It shouldn't be that you light one, then your kid lights one.
You can't give it over.
Yeah, you can't give it over. And also, just a quick idea that today we took to do the mitzvah mehadrin mina mehadrin. So we do the best of the best because according to the strict law, we light one candle for the whole household, and you're good. This is the halacha. Then there's a better way to do it. Yeah, Hillel and Shammai, and there's a better way to do it is to go and light for each person of the household, and then the way that we do it today is that we light for every night an extra one, and that's Madrim and Madrin. And for Ashkenaz, you light each night for each person. Each person lights their own Chanukah, and each night they add another one. Okay, so it's good also to light with everybody. Now we're going to see that there's a specific time to light. You shouldn't go home at 9 o'clock and start lighting.
No, but is there a problem if you're a little bit late?
It
gets dark in Montreal.
Right, it gets dark, but let's say so it's 4 o'clock gets dark. Let's say around 5 o'clock you should be lighting already.
Can't light at 6:30, 7?
Then you can. Technically you can, but the best should be to light earlier. Why? Because one of the halachot is like right after sunset, or like during the time of let's say 20-30 minutes after sunset, like really during this time, right before like you don't light exactly when the three stars are out. You light right after, let's say 20 minutes after sunset. But let's say around 5 o'clock today would be no problem. And the reason why is that Allah says that it has to be Pilsum Nisa. The miracle has to be made famous. It has to be made known. That's why in Shul we light the Chanukah. The only reason we light it is the Rab'am Adrat Melech. Right? There's a lot of people. No, we'll make a bracha. It's interesting. There's a whole question. Why do you have to make a bracha if no one is yotze by it? You go to Shul. They
do another one at your house. Another bracha again.
Yeah, no one is yotze, and even there's other thing is that let's say you go in places where let's say you go to a Chabad party, for example. Not everyone's gonna light.
Yeah.
So
they say the bracha there.
They say the bracha, but they're not yotze the mitzvah.
So isn't the bracha
Levatala? Yes, but then you're gonna say here there could be different. There's a leniencies on it, and there is also different because the if we're gonna say they're not gonna light at home, there's also another mitzvah of there's another mitzvah of making it in public. But let's say this public Chanukah is not the actual mitzvah. The mitzvah is ishu beto. A person has to light with his house. Everyone in his house has to light. This is where the mitzvah is. Okay, now let's say someone who cannot afford to do the mitzvah, he has to go and knock on doors and collect the money to go and do it. Even sell his own clothing. So we see that the mitzvah we're very mahmir. Because all the other mitzvah, let's say now he doesn't have a lulav. Now we're not going to say go take a mortgage because you need a lulav, right? We're not going to say go get in debt. No. But here we see for this mitzvah, the Chachamim, they were very strict with it. Okay. Okay. And also, you don't have to light it with a Chanukah, right? So let's say now you're somewhere where there's no Chanukah. You have candles. You light one candle. You put it anything that can hold the candle is enough. So let's say you have a table.
And everything.
So let's say you have a table. You light. There's no problem. Now, very important is that the shamash itself is not the mitzvah. You shouldn't go and light the shamash first, unless you light the shamash first before you make the bracha. Because the shamash is not part of the mitzvah. The shamash was an invention from the chachamim that they. Well, I don't know if it's from the chachamim, but the custom is actually it's a custom. That's why the shamash shouldn't be at the same level. They shouldn't confound it to be like one of the lights. And the reason is that you're not allowed to have any benefit from the lights. Meaning, let's say there's a blackout and there's only the Chanukah candles light. You can't move, can't do anything. Why? Because you're benefiting from the light. You can't read, you can't do anything extra. But now we light the shamash.
Stay in the presence of the Chanukah.
So you're supposed to stay there for half an hour.
It's supposed to be the glow, and you can daven, you can ask for things.
Right, chazak. But now, so nowadays it's not really applicable to shamash since we have candles.
Electricity.
We have electricity in the house, right? So, but let's say that the electricity goes out. So nevertheless, you will have the shamash. The shamash will be there so that you don't do the issur of using something that was made for light only. Meaning that's like kadosh. It's holy for the lights. So you cannot use it for something else. Exactly. You not use it for your own stuff or even anything else. Even if it's reading a Torah book, would not be permissible. Okay. Also, the custom to have a very nice menorah. If you can afford a silver one, it's very praiseworthy. All goes with there's a lot of nice silver ones.
You have one?
Yeah, Baruch Hashem, I have one.
Silver.
Yeah. So
Big, like good
yeah,
size.
this Baruch Hashem is very good. But it's very good if you can
polish it and everything.
Yeah, my wife she polishes it. But Baruch Hashem, yeah. So it's very good for the beauty of the mitzvah. Of course, if you can afford it, that's very good. Okay, and like you said, there's a mitzvah of sitting next to the menorah. I'm on the second page. There's a mitzvah sitting next to the menorah and
30 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes next to the menorah.
If there's no bittul Torah,
Yeah, because if let's say you can go learn, there's not an actual obligation. It's a good thing to do, to be sitting next to the Chanukah, because it's like you just light and then you run away. So it's like it's not a real.
You stay there. What are you supposed to do? Sing songs, whatever.
Yeah, you sing songs. You can learn there. You can just stay there in the room with it. Exactly. Okay, and then also like we said, this far custom is to have one menorah, and then for the Ashkenazim, is everyone lights their own Chanukah. Now, where to light the Chanukah? You see on page 2. Okay, so when lighting the Chanukah on the first night, one should first light the candle which is to the extreme right side of the menorah, which is the furthest distance from the doorpost without a mezuzah, and closest towards the doorpost with a mezuzah. So, like we said, so the custom is to bring it by the door. If you can't put it by the door for whatever reason, you can put it by the window, and by the window, like we light, of course, you start with all the way on the right side, and then we start from the left one till the right. So you always light the new candles, and then you continue
The whole tree's and then you go backwards.
Right, exactly. You go backwards, but the way you light is that you have to start with the right, and then you go from the left to right. Right? No, I mean from the right to left. Right, you start with the right, and then you go.
Let's say you have it's day 4.
Right.
So you have the candles from the right side.
Right. So we have, let's say the Chanukah is in front of me.
Yeah.
So then the candles are in front of me from the right to the left. So I start with the right one, and then I go down.
But you start from day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. You light from day 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, day 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you light
the hill away.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way. No, because Bet Shammai he says actually you start with 8 candles the first night,
Down 8, 7,
then 7, 6, 5.
But the menorah, but the mitzvah wasn't 8, right?
What?
The miracle wasn't 8 nights.
That was 8 nights.
No, they had enough oil for 1.
No, Chazak. So the miracle with
7.
No, so the miracle with oil. Oh, Chazak. No, but since it lasted 8 days, it was supposed to last one night.
But someone told me once, it's like the miracle part's only they had enough for 1. That wasn't a miracle. It only was the
No,
next
but
day, the next
to remember the miracle that it lasted one portion lasted for eight nights. That's what we do. But yeah, it's I guess technically, but I guess you can't really say that because from this one you had all the other nights, so it wouldn't be fitting you skip that night. Okay.
But But the bracha gets. So you're saying you don't like. You say the bracha before you light the shamash or after?
No, so halak. So if you do it with the candle, so you should light the shamash first, and then if you the shamash is not if you want, but the shamash is not necessarily to light the other candle. It's just to be there. But if so, you don't have to.
You're not supposed to light the candle with the shamash candle.
No, you can do it, no problem. But you shouldn't make a bracha, and then you shouldn't make a bracha and then light the shamash. Yeah.
So make sure that the bracha is after the shamash is already lit.
Right.
When you're starting the lights.
Right. Or let's say the way I do it, because I do it with the oil. So I will light the first Chanukah candle.
What are you lighting with? With the fire? With
a candle.
Stick,
a candle. I take a candle. I light each one, and the last one I light is the shamash. Okay? And then it doesn't matter, but you can light the shamash first, whatever you like, but don't make a bracha on the shamash. Okay? Now we're gonna go with now let's say a person forgot to light. Okay, so you were in Miami, you came back fast, and now you forgot to light. What do you do? So you're allowed to light till dawn. Okay, so till the morning, you're allowed to light. No, till dawn is not the morning, but till it starts to get light out, and then if not, then you lost your mitzvah for the night.
You can't make it up.
Right, so you can't make it up, and then you're done.
Someone say that you should not answer amen. So you should not think who lights another menorah in the house where the menorah is already lit. Others say others allow you to say amen.
Because it's interesting, because the halacha is that you're not allowed. That's also another issue, really. But I guess I don't know. That's another issue, that a person has to light in his house. So you can't go. Let's say now you invite the Chanukah party. Now you're gonna say everyone's lighting. So you don't say anything, okay? That's the way people do it. But you yourself, you can't light there. And if you do light there, first of all, you shouldn't light there. But if you do light there, you have to relight at home. Like we said, because you didn't do the mitzvah. The mitzvah is in your house, that it should be lit. Each household should be lit. So the place where you're going to sleep.
If you do it at your friend's house.
No. That's very important. And many times I see even religious people, that's what they do.
They come home and they're flipping their fiddle.
Exactly. And that's what here, that's why you have to be careful with that. Because if in your house it wasn't lit, then you're not yotze. Okay? Now
even if you did it at another person's house.
Yes, very good. Now more than that, if let's say you're at home, your wife is at home, you're not there, and no one's there. You're in Miami. Now she lights, you're covered. You're covered.
Even if I'm not physically present.
Yes, you're not physically there. You didn't
did it, and I'm part of the house.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeshiva boy, he's in Israel. But he's
his mother in Montreal.
Yeah, he's somech on his parents because the parents, they give him money and everything. And it's like he lives there all the time.
No, he's there as a.
Yeah, he's there here and there, and then he comes home and he still gets the money from his parents. So he's somech on his parents. He doesn't have to light. Okay, so we see that it's really the house. The mitzvah is on the house.
Even if for the entire Chanukah he hasn't stepped foot in the house.
Right, exactly. So if your wife lights all the 8 nights,
and you happen to be in HR for a business trip,
exactly, and you can't light, or it's not chazak, but it's not even you can't light, my friend, because you're not in your house. You're in the hotel. You understand? Exactly. So now there's a question now for the hotel. Because the hotel says now it's like you're renting it, so it's like your house for those days. So if let's say you're with your wife and your kids, so then you should light there.
That make it come to your house.
Yeah, you can light there. Okay, very good. Now the height of the menorah we see in page 3. So ideally it shouldn't be it should be 10 tefachim. So 10 tefachim is around 80 centimeters. So it shouldn't be too high and it shouldn't be too low. But if you didn't place it at the proper height, then it will still be okay. Also, it shouldn't be too high. This doesn't really apply today, but it shouldn't be above 20 amot. But this is only if it's in the same room. So let's say you go to Chabad somewhere, they want everyone to see it, so they put it all the way up. It should be an issue.
Except it says here above 20 amot. If you have it higher than 20 amot, it's not fulfill the mitzvah.
No, Chazak, but this.
So the big ones don't count. The Chabad, the big.
Which ones?
What do they have outside? On the huge ones in front of their Chabad house or whatever.
Well, no, but it depends how big they are. But if let's say
the one in Kotzing Library that you drive by every day, that's a big one.
But it's not 20 amot, that one. But 20 amot would be like around 10 meters.
Oh, that's 30 something feet.
Yeah, it's not very high. Yeah, so it won't be there. Also, something very
But it says
important.
above. That means in an apartment building.
Chazak, very good. So here, look, measuring from a second floor, those who live on high floors that are above 20 amot measure the 20 amot from the floor they are standing on. Therefore, the menorah would only have to be within 20 amot of the members of that house apartment. So this would not be a problem. So wherever you are, it's good to light by the window. Okay. Here, and that's very important. Now for the windows. Other one should light with 10 tefachim, lighting in a location where there would be more pirsum and nisa, right? Because there's a mitzvah to publicize the miracle to all the Jews. Look what Hashem did for us over 2,500 years ago, and that we're still here, and all these miracles Hashem did for us. So everyone should know about it. Therefore, it's preferable to place the menorah above 10 tefachim near a window that faces the public domain, as opposed to placing it inside one's house under 10 tefachim. So it's good to put it by the window so people will be able to see it. Now you have to avoid danger, right? So if now it happened to me one time that my kids were playing and the Chanukah fell on him with the oil and everything. No, Baruch Hashem, nothing. I don't know what happened, though. It's a big miracle, but it happened. They were playing and they were next to it.
Knocked over.
Yeah. So now we put like a couch all around it, to protect it. But it's you have to be careful. So, and also you have to be there. Right, that's also very important. So the very important halacha as well is that after 30 minutes, there's no more mitzvah. So after 30 minutes, let's say now you have to go, or your wife wants them, even you yourself, you don't want.
Burn out the candles?
Yes. So after 30 minutes, you can blow out the candles.
With no problem.
No problem. Okay.
For safety, for security, whatever.
No, because the halacha is that it has to be late for 30 minutes. Now everyone's already home. There's no more pirsum and nisa. You already did your mitzvah, right? Now you can continue after if you didn't do it earlier, but then you did your mitzvah. Now you have to go somewhere. You have to do anything. You go, you blow them off, and there's no problem, right? So don't be like the people that are very strict, and they there's nothing to be strict about and to be in danger. Some people they can burn the house down like that, right? Also, the halacha is that you cannot move your Chanukah after you place it for the mitzvah. So you can't say, "Oh, I'm going to light here and I'm going to put it by the sink," right? So if something happens. So you have to wait there for the half an hour. Then after you
smokes or something like that?
Right, well, because that's the place of the mitzvah. So you can't take your.
You can't move it.
No, you can't move it. Once
no, you don't think it's not Shabbos, it's not anything.
No, it's muktzeh, exactly. I would say it's like a of muktzeh, because there's muktzeh li mitzvato. So I don't know if that's the inyan. Bi'aron. The fact that we can't move the Chanukah, is it muktzeh li mitzvato or it's what's the inyan you think? Huh?
Good question.
After you light.
But why can't you move it?
It's late. You did the mitzvah now, but you can't. We know that we can't move the Chanukah. No, during the week. Right. Okay. What?
Where you light it in the right place. Where you get your table.
Let's see if he brings it here. And move it.
Which Masechta talks about Chanukah lights?
Oh, Halak. So, what did you say?
He says it's in Talmud.
Yeah, in Shabbos.
It talks about
Hanukkah, yeah, there's 3 pages. Hazak. Very good. Rabbi Aaron. Okay, there's if you want, we can just skip just to answer this question on page 13.
Page 13, yeah. Near the nair? No. Lighting a blown out candle. After 30 minutes, one may extinguish.
Okay, so lighting fulfills the
Some say one
mitzvah.
may even light cigarettes from the candles.
Oh yeah,
30 minutes
after
has
30 minutes, right? Exactly. So just to tell you,
Shabbos candles. One may light the menorah from synagogue candles or from Shabbat candles, as they're all considered mitzvot.
okay, but look here on page 13, the last halacha. Lighting fulfills the mitzvah. Okay.
And not the placement. Therefore,
So
one who
the lighting of menorah with
that
the
was not initially placed for the mitzvah of Chanukah does not need to reposition the menorah, since the lighting is what matters. Conversely, One who lit the menorah in the wrong place and then moved it to the proper place has not fulfilled the mitzvah since it was lit in the wrong place.
So that's the thing. So it's not about muktzeh, but since it was lit in the wrong place.
The candle
That's
was
it.
previously lit before the time of the lighting. One must extinguish in order to relight the mitzvah.
Chazak. Okay, so that was the halacha. Okay.
Yeah. Lighting in a windy place.
So let's go back now to page. Going page 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So we have halacha here indoors versus outdoors. So it would be good. It's good to light outside. It's the best way to light outside because a better personalization. But the common custom is to light inside the house. Also, practically, it will be difficult with the wind and things like that. Okay, and then here also there's another thing is that if you have a concern of theft, you're living amongst the goyim, there's also leniencies. For example, that's why it says that in the halacha it says that in the time of sakana where it was dangerous, you just light your Chanukah on your table and that's it. You don't open the windows, no nothing. However, Baruch Hashem, today we're not in this position. We're in a much better position, and therefore it would be that's why we do it by the window or do it outside or by the door. Okay. Okay, now wearing tzitzit. It's a good thing to go and wear tzitzit when you light the Chanukah candle, and there's actually a thing like that. It says that you have a person that has tzitzit on himself. He has the mezuzah on one side and the Chanukah on the other side. It's a good protection for him. It's a good sign for him, right? To be surrounded by mizvot. Now, for office and stores, one is not required to light one in one's office or store, even if one usually dwells and eats there throughout the day, right? So there's no mitzvah there. Now, the time to light, okay, very important. You see?
Stars.
So the minhag of Sfaradim is to light at Tzet HaKochavim when 3 middle-sized stars are visible,
Later, isn't it?
and not any earlier. This is around 20 minutes after Shkia. Some say that it's proper to light at Shkia, as Rav Elul Ben Chaim. Lighting after Tzet. One should make sure to light immediately at Tzet HaKochavim, or at least within 30 minutes from Tzet HaKochavim, which is 50 minutes from Shkia, right? So at least within 30 minutes from Tzet HaKochavim. This would be. Nevertheless, one was delayed, may b'di'avad, after the fact, light until Amud HaShachar, which, like we said, until dawn. Okay. Nevertheless, one should try to light as soon as possible and refrain from delaying or performing any other activities. Even if there would be less than 30 minutes until Amud HaShachar, one may light with a bracha. Someone who did not light before Alat HaShachar should still light while there is still some darkness before Netz. Netz is sunrise, right? So you can still light without bracha. Nevertheless, one should light without reciting a bracha. Some say that those who light indoors may delay the lighting until all the members of the house are together, even if the 30 minutes from Shkia will pass. So usually if let's say it's going to make a big impact on your family, if no one wants to miss it and for whatever reason, so you can be a little bit more lenient, but you shouldn't delay. You should make it your best that everyone should be there on time. Now, family members who are awake, one may only recite the Halachot later in the night if at least 2 family members are up. Okay, so you cannot do it just by yourself. Some say that even one other member suffices. If one is lighting near a window in a city where people are still up, then one may light even if no other member is up. Because the problem is that you have a mitzvah to go and make it known. So if there's no one walking, there's no one outside, then you're done. Others say that after the fact, one may recite brachot even if no one else is awake. So you can also rely on this, that even if you're only by yourself, you can go and do it yourself.
This is the next part you talked about before. The wife could do it on behalf of the family.
So appointing a shaliach. No, but
family's away. You can appoint a shaliach.
Right, to light on his behalf. The shami recite both brachot. Okay, now lighting before tzet, because before dark, someone will not have it set. We light from flag and mincha and onwards. However, one must ensure that there is enough oil for the candle to live 30 minutes past tzet. So that's why we do on Shabbat. So, for example, on Shabbat, because we have to make sure that the candles will last at least 30 minutes.
But the 30 minutes could be while into Shabbat, no?
Right. So that's what it is. It has to be. So when you light, it has to be the whole time till 30 minutes after Tzet HaKochavim. So let's say it has to be. So let's say now Shabbos starts 3:50. You need to have enough.
Is it the
No.
shortest Shabbat? Is it the
On
earliest Shabbat? No.
Yeah, let's say 3:50. But I mean, next week will be the Shabbat of the Chanukah. But let's say now Shabbat's gonna start at 3:50. Then you have to light, let's say 3:30. Let's say you light, and then from 3:30 till
30 minutes from 3:50.
no 3:50 is the time we light. Shkia is 18 minutes after 3:50. Let's say it was 3. So let's say in this case, in our example, 4:08. Now 4:08
plus 30.
is Shkia. No, not yet. Because we're talking Tzeta Kochavim. So let's say 20 minutes, 30 minutes after Shkia would be let's say 4:38, right?
30 minutes past the 18 minutes.
The Shkia, no, 30 minutes past the Shkia. The Shkia is Safek Yom, Safek Laila. Shkia is, we don't know what it is. There's a machloket on it, right? It's half day, half night. So let's say, usually it's 20 minutes after. So let's say we're going to be more lenient, 4:28. At 4:28, it has to go 30 minutes from that time.
4:50.
Yes, until 5 o'clock. So you light at 3:30, it has to go till 5
An hour and a
o'clock.
half.
Exactly. That's why you have to go and have
Special candles.
the special. It's good to buy the
Extra long.
long ones, or to have with the oil. You have the oil with the caps, so you won't have to be worried as of a fire or something that the oil is capped. Okay. Now the prayers. Okay. Now what are the brachot? You have the first night. You have 3 brachot to do. Okay, this is something else. But let's say
You should pray Mara first.
exactly that you should pray Arvit first, and then you should go and do it. Because we also have the rule that when you have 2 mitzvot, one that is more common, one that is less common, go with the more common one. Exactly. So Arvit comes first, but if you didn't do it, then you can do it after. Okay, and some say that. Okay, very good. Okay, now what's forbidden to do before lighting? That's also very important. Now you have the mitzvah. You cannot just go to your party, don't know what we're going to eat, we're going to do whatever we want, and then we're going to light. No, once it's forbidden to eat. This only applies to a kabitza or more bread or mezonot. Drinks and fruits are permissible. Okay, so really you shouldn't do anything during the time of lighting. Even work is forbidden. Even learning Torah is going to be forbidden. Unless you have a shomer. Shomer is someone who's going to inform you, go light, is going to remind you so you don't forget. And it's interesting for Avrechim, it says if an Avrech has his own wife, if he's learning and he cannot go home during the time, so his wife should go light for him at the right time. Right, so we see there's a real importance to light at the right time. Okay, now let's say you have a store, right? So you should they should go to their house and light at the time and then go back. Right, so they don't have to stay the 30 minutes. Right? They just light and then they leave. And if not, they have to close very late at night. They should ask their wives to go and light for them. Now, if the wife refuses, they should, no, it's not my job. I don't want you come home. We'll do it together. So you can light later when you come from work. Okay, now let's say you're a guest in someone's house, so you should go and participate with them. Let's say now you sleep by let's say you go sleep by your parents now. You go for Chanukah, you go shop, you go Chanukah night by your parents with all the kids, your wife. You go in Hampstead. Okay, now you're there, you sleep the night. So you should go and participate with your father. You give him $5. And then you can participate inside with the candles.
Then it becomes your mitzvah if you pay for it.
Yeah, then you share in the mitzvah. You don't have to light by yourself.
He takes the money, is to give it to tzedakah, does it matter?
No, he takes the money. No, I mean it's not the money he takes. It's like the cost of the oil and the wicks. Okay. But here it's interesting. So it's only if guests have to pay for the it's only guests who are paying for their stay. So it's interesting. If guests do not pay for their stay, so let's say by in the okay. So it's interesting. So married children that stay by their parents, they don't have their parents light for them, and then they don't have to do anything unless they want to light for themselves. They can, but that's the issue now with Ashkenaz. You see, because Ashkenaz each one lights for themselves, but it's only in their own house. They can't go in someone else's house and light for them. So they have to be relying on the lighting of the father. Okay. Okay, now let's go to synagogue. Okay, so we're on page 9. So lighting in the synagogue, the custom is to light in the synagogue with the brachot in order to publicize the miracle. So the custom is also to light in the morning without a bracha. So you should have at least 10 people, and some say that even the women count. Right? Others argue, but the Ben Ishchai says the woman would count in the mitzvah, and if they're there, you have 10, you can light with the bracha.
When the first time Chanukah falls on Shabbos, one should not recite the Shechianu.
So here we see that there's a few different halachot of how you have to light. If you already lit at home, then you don't have to say, everyone lit already. You don't have to say Shechianu again. If you lit before going to synagogue, you still have to light again because of the Pesum Nisa. And also, if you light for everybody, when you go home, you also have to light again. Right? But if your person lives alone, should not recite Shechianu the first time when lighting again at home. Okay. Chazak. So here the custom in the synagogue is light from Shkia. So you don't have to wait all the way till Tzedakah Kohanim. That's why right after you do Mincha, they light and then everyone does Arvit right away. And then in the synagogue, they should put the Chanukah next to the Aron HaKodesh on the right side. Okay, Chazak. Now the oils and the wicks. So the best oil to go and take is going to be the olive oil. The person should try to do olive oil. Then you can also do if you doesn't have olive oil, you can use wax candles. But the best would be olive oil because it burns nicely, and it's also the way that the mitzvah. It's like really to remember the mitzvah properly. Also, you're not allowed to use any oil that smells bad or that was used for something else, or let's say it was cooking oil or it was non-kosher oil. Right, all these things will be forbidden. But however, you can use the wicks, right? So you don't have to change the wicks. Now let's say the oil went down, you can add more oil, and then you can reuse the wicks, and there's no problem. Okay, now we said the shamash. So the shamash, you're allowed to benefit from the light, and you're allowed to use it for whatever you need. And also, you don't need to light the shamash since you already have the lights in your house. And also, you should not light from one candle to another candle. So let's say you have one candle that went, you shouldn't take this light to go light the other one. Amen.
Yes.